The following program is rated D for dumb.
Baby left me, my best friend's not at home. Can't get that woman off my mind. I've never been the brooding kind, but there's still one thing makes me come alive. Yeah, I'm going for a drive.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Dave Canyon. Are you ready to dumb it down? Well, that's fantastic. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you chose to listen to Dumbing It Down with Dave. I think this is like episode 191. Making progress towards future milestones in Dumbing It Down with Dave history? No, it would be in Dumbing It Down with Dave future. We don't use the word future like we use history. You know, hey, you know, that's history. That's all history now. That's future. No, see, we don't. I think we use it differently. It's just, you know, slightly different. Anyway, just maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we use it the same. But it just occurred to me, like, wow, yeah, Dumbing It Down with Dave history. You know, but you know, it's going to be the future. Episode 200 is coming. And I'm not dreading it like I was dreading episode 100. So that's good news. We're just plugging along. 2 shows a week, 2.5 hours. Because, you know, we got to do that 1 hour for Mile High Radio, milehighhiradio.com, milehighhiradio.com. Thank you to Lynn, and thank you to Bobby. So, yeah, every Monday from 11 to 12, you can hear 1 hour of Dumbing It Down with Dave on your computer. So, it is January 17th. It is 9:55 in the morning, and it's Saturday, and I'm headed home. I am so happy to be headed home. I'm so happy to be headed home for multiple reasons. By the way, it is, I don't know, it's a little sunny. I got my sunglasses on my head just in case I need to pull them down and put them over my eyes and have it sit on my nose. Yeah, the sun right now is on the left side. I'm on the road called 787, headed towards the New York State Thruway, exit 23. And, yeah, it's sunny. There's definitely a lot of clouds in the sky. It's going to snow in a couple of hours. It's supposed to get not a major storm here, but storm enough. I think at one point it was 8 inches, and now it's down to 3 inches. And before you know it, it'll just be a flurry. And, you know, then the weathermen will come up with an excuse why they were wrong. So, anyway, but what's the difference? As long as the lady weathermen look great, I don't care what they say. Nah, see, that's sexist. And that leads me to my next thing. Do you think I just was doing some silly icebreaker, right? No, there's a thought process to this. So, I want you to know, guys, I don't like when people talk in code, all right? I don't like when they say, hey, things are, whatever, you know, like on Facebook, whatever, they say something, and then you have to, they're almost inviting you to say, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? And they go, well, I can't really say anything right now. And then you go, then why are you saying anything at all? You know, then they have to say, because I'm a moron, and I like it drawing attention to myself. All right? So I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to say something on the show, of course. It's going to be recorded, but I'm not going to say anything specific, and I'm going to tell you why. But I'm sitting on 2 juicy stories right now. 2 juicy work-related stories. Neither of which I can share with you right now. They are not the same work stories you've ever heard before, heard me talk about before. These are totally different and unrelated. Got it? It is all human. It is not mechanical. It is all human. And that's what I love talking about. Not the human behavior, human aspects to things, why we tick, why we talk, why we don't tick or talk, and what makes us do any of that stuff. And I'm on that search. Part of my pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. It's not search for it all as far as mindfulness or as far as happiness or pragmatism. It's the search for it all. Like, why? Why? I like holding on to that part of my life where I go, why? But why? But why? And then people go, say because. I go, but that's not always good enough. Don't you want to know why you're doing this? Don't you want to know why they're doing this? Don't you? No, Dave, you're overthinking it. And of course, thanks to Pat Mason, comment of the week last week, I overthink the overthinking. Or no, he didn't say that. I'm overthinking. Yeah, good comment. And I'm good. By the way, when it comes to the comment of the week, I really want to do comment of the day because you guys are really commenting a lot now, which is great because, 3 years ago, February of 2016, or was it March of 2016 when I started the show, I think I signed up for Spreaker on February. See, now I'm putting on my sunglasses. I'm headed south on the thruway. I just got on exit 23. And anyway, by the way, one day somebody remind me to talk about exit 23, one of the most hideous entries to a major city, if you consider Albany a major city. People call it Smallbany, but it's a really hideous way to enter the city. Anyway, I'm always amazed when cities and states have no pride, and they don't care who visits and what they see. First impressions, there's a lot of not caring in this world. Not caring is a big problem for me. All right, so let's not get off the trail too far. I'm leaving breadcrumbs. I'll find my way back. But it's the human behavior. So the search for it all, yeah. The why. And, just because. No, it's not enough. I think the more we ask why, the more we talk about it, the more we can get to some sort of peaceful truth. Like, oh, that's why they behave that way. Oh, that's why they feel that way. That's why they act that way. That's why they do these things. Oh, and now we know how to deal with it. Now we know how to correspond. Now we know how to have a mutual relationship that's beneficial to all of us on the planet of Earth. That's how big I think. I'm not thinking about how much we can all get along in Smallbany or New Jersey. How do we get along in McCall, Idaho? How do we get along in Nutley, New Jersey? How do we get along in Schenectady or Ancram, New York? Or no. That's how I kind of like, or New Hampshire, or Long Beach, California, or in your workspace. Globally, I believe we can. I believe we can all get along globally. I do believe it. But it takes asking why, and it takes a certain stepping back from your personal feelings and emotions, because I believe that 99% of us, let's go with the positive, not with the negative. I believe that 99.9% of us, even including myself, including yours truly, but believe me, I'm no better, no worse or no better. I'm the same. I'm just a guy that knows how to get a subscription to a podcast hosting platform and then, do poor audio on a crappy podcast and distribute it on 20 platforms, all over the world. That's all I know. That's the only difference between me and you, is that I'm doing this. I just hit a button. A half hour later, goodbye. That's it. Big difference. So when you get a podcast, I'll listen to yours. I promise. I do it all the time. Anything you do, I'll do it all the time. I support everybody. But I believe that we can get along. I believe. But I have two stories I'm sitting on, and it's at work. It's all about human behavior. I don't care about the technical part of it. A little bit. But mostly I care about the human behavior. And I don't want to say nothing because it hasn't come to fruition yet. And I use fruition as a positive word. I don't know what the opposite of fruition is, but my fate is not good. My fate is dismal. I was joking the other day, sort of, when I said, I don't know if I'm going to make it 4 years or 5 years here before my retirement. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the end of the month. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to make it to next week. There's a black cloud following, which I don't believe in. I mean, I sort of believe that black cloud's been following me for 56 years. But that's not necessarily true. Again, I'm being a little facetious. I know the word's facetious, but I'm less dyslexic, so I say facetious. I mean, if you're truly dyslexic, or lexixic, if you're truly that, then you won't say dyslexic, right? If you're dyslexic, you would say lexixic. Anyway, that's why I'm being facetious. So anyway, I got two juicy stories. I can't talk about it. I don't like when people talk in code. I don't like when people like egg you on. Oh, I got something to tell you. Well, what is it? Well, I can't tell you. Well, why did you mention it? Because I'm going to try to still talk about something that is related to that. Oh, by the way, I think I realize why I'm shouting. First of all, I'm from New York. I shout. Second of all, I talk loud. My wife always says, you know, why don't you use your inside voice? I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. You know, she goes, even before the podcast, she would say, well, where did Radio Dave come from? I go, what are you talking about? She goes, why are you talking like you're on a radio show? I go, I'm just talking. I want eggs. I want eggs scrambled. I want eggs. I want scrambled. I want sausages and bacon. Is there any coffee? I'll make it right now. She goes, oh my God. It's like being with a DJ. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm just talking here. So it's human behavior. That's all I ever care about. That's what I don't have expertise in economics. I don't have expertise in anything. I am not a college graduate. I'm barely a college entrant. Forget about college graduate. Forget about community college graduate. Forget about continuing education graduate. Matriculated, not matriculated, whatever the words are. I am barely a college entrant. I do have a high school diploma. Barely. In fact, I found one of my old report cards the other day. And I showed it to my son. He goes, Dad, my grades were better than this. And you yelled at me. I go, no, your grades weren't as good as this. But I got a lot of 75s and 70s. And, you know, I'm getting off the trail, but I'll come back. My scholastic career, 1 or 2 PTA meetings a year, you know, between my mom, who was deaf, still deaf, and stroke deaf now, and some other relative would come up to the school, probably had to take a day off from work and interpret for my mother. And it was like once or twice a year, and the same conversation I remember every year. David has so much potential. If he would just apply himself. David has so much potential. He's so smart. He's really very bright. If he just would apply himself. Oh yeah, it would really help if he did any of his homework. Then when I get home, I'd get beat. I'd cry. They'd punish me. They wouldn't follow through on the punishment because I'd be watching TV in 2 days. You know, I got to watch my Speed Racer. I got to watch my Gigantor. I got to watch my Felix the Cat. I got to watch my Courageous Cat and Minnie Mouse. I got to watch my syndicated Gilligan's Island. I got to watch my Brady Bunch. Come on, man. Let's get with it. I'm a human. Again, human behavior. So I'm not an expert on any of this. On nothing. The one thing I think I know, again, listen to the words I'm saying, not to the words that you're hearing. I don't know human behavior. I think I know human behavior. And all I can do is do a show on what I think is human behavior. And then this show, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, has more questions than answers. Because I'm curious. Why? How come? I don't understand. So I'm like a child. I'm like a 12-year-old in a 56-year-old body. I'm like a really large 12-year-old in a 56-year-old body. I'm in a 12-year-old that gave up. I'm a 12-year-old that gave up. I'm like, oh, tired. That's not true. I'm really doing quite better. I know I'm doing better. I tell you why. Because I've been going to the gym. I'm doing all these machines now, weight machines. I'm doing all this work. I'm intermittent fasting. I've lost a considerable amount of weight. So in the last 2 weeks, not going to tell you what the number is. I'm going to do a weigh-in on Dave's Fit Life. Did you know that? I have a YouTube channel called Dave's Fit Life. Check out Dave's Fit Life. If you like the Dumbing It Down with Dave podcast, I think you're going to like Dave's Fit Life, the YouTube channel. Just put in Dave's Fit Life. And if you want to talk to me about it, you can always tweet me for Dave's Fit Life at Dave Canyon. At Dave Canyon is Dave's Fit Life. I don't have a Twitter for Dave's Fit Life, so you just do at Dave Canyon. For Dumbing It Down with Dave, it would be at Dumb with Dave. If you want to email me at Dumbing It Down with Dave, it would be dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. If you want to email me at Dave's Fit Life, it's actually at Dave's Fit for Life at yahoo.com. That's why I don't mention it, because it's Fit for Life, because some idiot has Dave's Fit Life, but he won't relinquish it, and he doesn't even use it, so whatever. I actually emailed him. He never responded. So, but also, you could just go to my website. Just go to davecanyon.com, or you could probably put in Dave's fitlife.com. It all goes to the same place, or dumbingitdownwithdave.com. There's a contact form. Did you know that? There's a contact form on my website. You can just send me a note through the website, and it works because we test it. We test it every month, and it works. So a lot of websites have contact forms. You know, the page is called a contact form, and they don't work. Mine works. I made sure it works because that's a pet peeve of mine, that people put things out there and they don't work. like a pizzeria or any business that has the store open sign, but it's 2 a.m. It's closed. So why do you have the open sign up 24 hours a day? You have no integrity now. I can't trust you. Am I the only one that feels that way? When you drive around and you see that neon open sign, you go, you're not open. Why do you have the open sign on? Why would you buy that sign and then not use it correctly? It's either open or not open, open or closed. So why do you leave it lit? And somebody told me, oh yeah, we don't like anybody to think that we're closed, like out of business, so we just leave it on. And it attracts attention to the window. I'm like, how about the word pizza? Don't you think that attracts people to the window? How about, 2 slices of the Coke for $5? I think that, how about Monday special, large pie, $8? These are things that attract people to the window. How about you make great pizza? You think the open, it's open 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I really wanted pizza. All right, I guess I have to go to the 24-hour Walmart and get DiGiorno. See? That's what they're going to do. They're going to, it's not open. Now they're going to spite you. I'm going to go get DiGiorno. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno. I'm not getting paid for that. Either is Alex Exum at the top of the show. He's not getting paid. He does that great intro at the top of the show. Here's Dave. AlexExum.com. ALEXEXUM. 2 X's in his name. First and last name. You can check out his podcast and everything like that. Go to AlexExum.com. And you heard an AI voice at the beginning of the show, didn't you? Yeah. Well, that's all because of Linda. Awesome Insanity Surfers. And you heard that song, right? You heard the song that Hal and Philly does, Going for a Drive. Love the song. I just spoke to him the other day personally. We had a personal conversation. Got to make that song a hit. Got to get John Fogerty on it. Or Bon Jovi. Or maybe Steve Miller. I saw Steve Miller the other day on TV. I think he would do justice to that song. Anyway, so that's Hal and Philly, who does Tales of the Road Warriors. And he also does It's Easy When You Know How. You want to know how you're doing? Listen to It's Easy When You Know How. All those shows I mentioned are all on Spreaker. They're on other platforms as well, but you can find everything on Spreaker. Okay, so let's go back a bit. I'm sure I'm missing something, but human behavior, that's where I'm at. Oh, so I think I was also talking about, I know I'm scrambling a lot, and now I'm probably going to not go back on something, because I know the previous show 190, I think I didn't go back to a few things. Oh, yeah, by the way, nobody's contacted me. When you hear a commercial, when you hear a Dumbing It Down with Dave commercial, not a commercial for Dumbing It Down with Dave, but a commercial like you hear Geico, you hear all the Home Depot and all this other stuff, that's how I make a little bit of money. I made $10.48 in 3 years. All right, but now I'm like 20 cents away from my next $10. That took me a little bit over a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So I'm obviously getting listeners because the money's coming quicker. So I'm getting a huge $10 every 2 months at this point. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's all I get. But if you hear a commercial and it's in a foreign language, please kind of note where you heard this commercial. Probably it'll be on Spreaker. And like if you know what language, if you have an idea whether it's Toyota, just give me an idea. Like what time of the day. Because we're having a little issue at Mile High Radio. So if you hear German, if you hear a language that you don't understand, it's just, as long as it's not English. If it's something you don't understand, it's not English, boom, let me know. I need to know that. It's because we're having a little bit of a problem on Mile High Radio. But as far as I know, it's only on Mile High Radio. It's nowhere else. Okay, so I don't like to talk in code. But I got to tell you, I'm sitting on 2 stories. And I can't say nothing because there's too many guys at my job listening to the show now. At least that's what they tell me. I know one for sure, and that's Pat, commenter of the week. I'm overthinking. And by the way, there's no really rhyme or reason to comment of the week or comment of the day. I like to do it every day, but I just don't always have the time. And I think if I skip a week or two, or if you go, hey, my comment was great, why don't you do my comment? Listen, you all have great comments. A lot of you, great comments. And I appreciate all of them. I just don't always have the time. Sometimes I just go, sometimes I'm on the throne, which is somewhat related to one of the 2 stories I'm going to not tell you about. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. So don't feel bad if you don't get the comment of the week. And by the way, if you think that you deserve comment of the week, say, hey, Dave, wasn't that a great comment? Whether you do it on the Spreaker box or whether you tweet me or email me. Hey, wasn't that a great comment? And I'll tell you why you didn't get comment of the week. Probably because I just didn't get around to it. I wish I had a staff. I always say that, right? I wish I had interns or staff. I have one assistant. She's quite busy. She's working on some good stuff that's coming out. You guys have been noticing my Instagram and Facebook, and you see some social media that's Did Dave create this? No way. I'm being very honest. Dave, you shouldn't be this honest. That's what gets you in trouble. No, this is all my assistant's work, not me. I mean, I have some input. I've relinquished control of my social media. I just have a little bit of like, oh yeah, maybe there's and she goes, okay, actually, let me see what I can do. And then somehow it turns out great. Anyway, human behavior. I hope if I didn't answer something, folks, just put it in the Spreaker box. Say, hey, Dave, you started on this rabbit trail, then you didn't come back to it. So let me get back to this. As far as I know, on this show, you've never heard me say. By the way, I know we haven't done a breather break in a long time. We'll get to it as soon as we can, and we've done drink breaks, but I'm okay right now. As far as this show, you very rarely, or if never, heard me refer to anybody as a snowflake. Wow, slowflake. That's another one. Is that a thing? Slowflake? Yeah. I know a whole bunch of snowflakes. I don't use that term. I think it's a horrible term. Not that it's offensive. I don't think it means anything because I'm a snowflake. So just because you're considered to be on the left, because I think that's where the snowflake term is usually applied, to the left, to the Democratic side, not the Republican side. The left is Democratic, the right is Republican, right? Socialist is to the extreme left, right? And conservative is more to the extreme right. And then there's all different degrees of right, and then extreme right, and to the super right, whatever. You've never heard me really use those terms because I don't like those terms, because I think they're not that they're inappropriate. I think they're ineffective. I don't think they're really as descriptive as people think. I don't think it really says anything. I'm a snowflake. I'm also an environmentalist. I love trees. Who doesn't love a tree? I love it as long as it doesn't fall on my house. I love it as long as it stands there and I don't get hit in the head with a branch. I got branches all over my property. Every storm, I go outside and go, oh, branch, twig, branch, nest, fallen nest. I feel bad for the fallen nest. I love the earth. I love air. I love clean water. I love the sky. I love the moon and the sun and the stars up above. I love plants. So, and I recycle. And I still have it. A 1981 Volkswagen Rabbit diesel. It's a very rare car. It's a pickup truck. And I wanted to be a grease burner. But I didn't have the funds to follow through on that. But when gas was, a couple of years ago with whatever it was, the Iranian thing, or maybe it was 9/11, I don't remember, and gas prices were through the roof, I bought a Volkswagen diesel, 1981 Rabbit. And my goal was to convert it into a grease car. People were doing that all over the country. Grease car. In fact, there's greasecar.com. They're not as successful now as they were 10 years ago because gas kind of stabilized at about $2.50 a gallon. At least on the East Coast it did. $2.45 in Jersey, right off the George Washington Bridge. Quick fill. Anyway, I think it's the green gas station when you get off the GWB. Not that any of you will be near there anytime soon, but anyway, maybe Mr. Maruki. Hey, Mr. Maruki, he'll go down Route 17 or Route 3. I'm sure he's finding $2.45, $2.49, $2.50 gas on the East Coast. So I'm an environmentalist. I recycle. I think we should recycle more. I think we should recycle wisely. I think we should do a lot of things to prevent global warming. I believe in global warming. And if I believe in it as much as I don't know how to disprove it. And why would I waste my time disproving it? You say there's global warming? Okay. All right, so what do we got to do? Well, we should burn less, fossil fuel. Okay. I think I've been working on that anyway. I try to get high mileage vehicles. Dave, you bought a Caravan. Well, I bought the Caravan to sleep in. I don't use this as a commuter car. I had the Kia. Almost 300,000 miles on a Kia. It's unheard of. 35 miles to the gallon. I had a Honda Fit until I blew it up like a moron. That was also 35 or 36 miles to the gallon. And I got a deposit on an Elio. What? Elio. E-L-I-O. Elio. I got a deposit. It's supposed to get like 85 miles to the gallon. It's a three-wheeled car. Dave, you're not going to drive a three-wheeled car to work. I would if I was commuting. It's a two-seater. One car in front of the other. Go to Elio.com. E-L-I-O. I sat in it. I seen it. I got a deposit on it. It's taken forever to get it to mass production. I don't know what's happening. I want to give them more money to get the front of the list, but so far, $100, it doesn't matter how much money you give them. They're not producing it. I don't know what's going on. Look it up. I don't really follow it. You think I would, but I don't really follow the Elio news. I just know that my name's on the list. As soon as I start manufacturing them, I'm going to get one. It costs like $7,000, $7,200 or something like that. It's a ridiculous, low-priced, high-mileage car. Okay. So I do all those things. But what's going on with me as far as work goes, and as far as the troubles that I'm in or the troubles I might be in, and for whatever reason I may or may not be relieved of my duties at where I work, is that we live in a world now that it's just, well, you've already heard all this somewhere else. The sensitivity level is through the roof. And you might think, but Dave, look at you. You're super sensitive. Yeah, but I don't get people in trouble. I don't undermine people's employment opportunity. I don't go crying to the boss and go, oh, look what he did. Look what he did. I'm offended. No, I go, hey, man, can I talk to you? Listen, you're probably I'm going to tell you something, and then you're going to tell me to go F myself. But I want to tell you, this doesn't make me happy. This doesn't bring me joy. And you probably shouldn't be doing this. And people look at me all the time like I'm a cuckoo head. I know that. But Dave, why don't you tell your boss? Why don't you get these people in trouble? Why don't you report them, get them written up? I go, nah, I'm not looking to make trouble. First of all, my car is out there. Now it's my caravan. I'm not looking for anybody to key my car. Yeah, that's a fear. That should be everybody's fear. So do I admire people who look beyond that fear or don't have that fear and then go reporting me or reporting other people? I guess I got to admire their courage, but I also got to laugh at their stupidity. Because cars are expensive to repair, body work. I'm not threatening to do it to anybody. I would feel bad. I would really, 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 really have to hate you to key your car, to puncture your tire. I would really, 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 really have to hate you. And for me to really, 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 really have to hate you, you'd have to do some physical harm to me or my family. I don't know how else to put it. You could make anti-Semitic comments to me. I go, well, that's your right. The anti-Semitism in this country is really going crazy. It's really trending high now. People are really into it now. But I can laugh about it. It's not funny. But I could say something like that. Yeah, it's trending. People love to hate Jews. Anti-Semitism is it's almost as popular as turning lesbian, or being transgendered, or being a snowflake, or whatever, or being anti-Trump. All of this. I would never. I don't seek to get anybody in trouble. I don't seek for anybody to lose their job. And actually, I'm going to be very honest. I just remembered before somebody says, "Dave, you're lying." I didn't report somebody. But somebody once asked me about 8 o'clock in the morning, coming back from a 14, 15-hour day, Dave, how you doing? I'm not doing good. Why not? Well, I had a certain run-in with a certain driver and it made me uncomfortable. And I'm really upset about it. Because I told this driver no several times. I said, no. And he wouldn't take no for an answer because he thought he was being funny. I didn't do anything in these two stories that I thought was funny. I was just being Dave. In neither of the cases was anything verbal. As soon as I can, I will release these two stories. I will never forget. I'll remember these stories. This guy was being verbal, and I kept saying to him, no. So I don't want to be a liar. I did report somebody once. I didn't report him. They just asked me, how you doing? I'm not really feeling good. I'm uncomfortable. I'm upset. I want to go home. Why? What happened? I told him what happened. I didn't report. I didn't go out of listen, I got to close the door behind me. I got to tell you something. I didn't call anybody. We have an ethics hotline, 800 number. I haven't even called that yet. I keep everything in-house. Oh, that's another thing I want to say. I keep everything in-house. I'm military. I keep everything in you don't need to tell the Admiral everything. All right, I got to get going in a couple of seconds here, but folks, if I missed on any of my rabbit trails, please let me know. I'll answer it in the next episode. There's a lot more I want to say, but I think I said everything I needed to say, and you get it. All right? I'm not out to get anybody. I don't know why people are out to get me. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, Godspeed, good racks, and great skills. Take care.